Good morning, everyone. Welcome to one more new session on ratio analysis. Okay, ratio analysis, it's the most important tool used by financial analysts in evaluating companies' performance. What do you mean by ratios? What is ratios? Ratios are purely comparison of numbers. Why it is so important? It is very important to find out the financial stability of the company. It gives a bird eye view of financial statements. It helps us to compare the company's performance with our competitors as well as with the industry. During the session, we will be covering on key important ratios, of which we'll start with operating ratios. So for today's session, I have taken the balance sheets and profit and loss account. Here we are. Okay, so I'll be doing operating ratio analysis for the financial statements of Hindustan Unilever. The balance sheet and the profit and loss account is available as on 31st of March 2019. It's a public document available on the website of the company. So for today's, so let us first go through balance sheets. It includes assets, non-current assets, current assets, that includes inventories, investments, trade receivables, cash, bank accounts, other financial assets, other current assets, assets held for sale. So your total balance sheet value is 17,865 crores. The amounts are here in crores. As far as the equity portion is concerned, the equities and liabilities, equity share capital, other equities, financial liabilities, provisions, non-current liabilities, total outstanding dues that are nothing but creditors, financial liabilities, provisions, and the final amount, that is 17,865 crores. Okay, here we go on to the profit and loss account. This is the profit and loss account as on 31st March 2019. The amounts all are stated in crores. Revenues from operations, other incomes, total income is 38,888. Total expenses, that is 30,139 crores. Exceptional items, profit before tax, tax expenses, profit for the year. Summarized profit and loss account is also available. That is sales from products, other operating incomes, that is your revenue from operations, total operating cost, that gives you PBDIT, that is profit before depreciation, interest and tax. You deduct depreciation to get earnings before interest and tax. Other incomes, profit before exceptional items, profit before tax, less taxation to get profit for the year. Okay. So first, let us go and look into your operating ratios will emphasize on accounts receivable, that are your debtors, cash, accounts payable, and inventory. Okay, the cash conversion cycle, inventory, which is your raw material, you process it, work in progress, finished goods, which is being converted into your sales, that are nothing but debtors, that is accounts receivable. They finally pay you cash. Out of that cash, you will pay back your debtors, the creditors. Out of the total cash you receive, you will pay your creditors. which will again give you stock, which is nothing but your inventory. So this is your cash conversion cycle. So here we go. Operating analysis. The first one is inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is revenues divided by average inventory. I repeat, revenue divided by average inventory. If the ratio is higher, it means it is fast moving. Company is very efficient in converting your cash into your receivables. Higher the ratio, better is the prospects of the company. Okay, so how we have calculated this answer? That is revenue from operations 38,224 divided by average inventories, that is average of 2422 and 2359. That gives you your answer of 15.99. Okay, the next one, that is receivables turnover ratio. Receivables turnover ratio is revenues divided by average receivables. Okay. Revenue from operations, that are 38,224 divided by average debtors, that are 1,673 and 1,147. So you will average out both these numbers to find out the ratio. So the answer turns out to be 27.11. Higher the ratio, which means efficient is your credit policies. Company is very strong in credit policies. Credit period granted to your debtors are very minimum. So your ratios will be higher. Okay. Okay, now let us do payables turnover ratio. That is revenues divided by average creditors. Revenues are 38,224 divided by the average of creditors. They are 7070 and 7013. So you will average out these numbers to find out your denominator. The answer turns out to be 5.43. So higher the ratio, better is company enjoying more credit period from the creditors. Okay. Now comes inventory period turnover. That is nothing but 365 divided by inventory turnover ratio. That is 15.99. It takes 22.83 days to convert your raw material into your sales. So that means the higher the ratio, better is the company. That means your goods are fast moving. Next one is receivables collection period. That is 365 divided by receivables turnover. That is 365 divided by 27.11. Okay, so next is receivables collection period. That is 365 divided by receivables turnover. That is 27.11. The number of days turns out to be 13.46. This means that the lower the ratio, better is the company as far as your credit policies are concerned. This shows the number of days debtors pays you cash. How quickly debtors are paying you cash is this ratio specifies your credit policy of the company. Next is payables period. That is 365 divided by payables turnover. That is 5.43. The amount turns out to be 67.24 days. So the higher the number of days, better is the company. So company is lagging the payments made towards your creditors. Okay, next is your cash conversion cycle. That is inventory period plus receivables period minus payables period. So that is 22.83 plus 13.46 minus 67.24. In this case, it is negative 30 days. So company is enjoying their short-term needs by having negative cash conversion cycle. This means that company is enjoying funds. This means that company is enjoying funds by way of short-term working capital needs. So thank you for today's session. Next session, we will be doing liquidity ratios.